may be seated. We are gathered here today in the sight of God and these witnesses to join Doug and Stephanie in marriage. At this moment, I would like Doug and Stephanie to share a few words with you. So, Doug, it has been awesome doing premarital counseling with you the past couple weeks. We have seen God do some amazing things. You know, it's interesting, even before you two come together to start a family, we saw God grow his family in terms of Jesus' love, his forgiveness, and reconciliation with God. We've seen people touched by the good news about Jesus, and I can tell you that there is no greater joy. This is a highlight of my life, highlight of my year, and I am so excited to marry you too. Doug, I want to encourage you and remind you of the first marriage of Genesis chapter 2. It was perfect. The man and the woman, the husband and the wife, experienced no shame. They had a perfect relationship with God and a perfect relationship with one another. Doug, I want to remind you, and you, Stephanie, as well, that you did not have to ask me to do a Christian way. One where Jesus is honored, where God is at the center of your relationship. That's what you chose. And God has already began to bless it. Doug, I want to remind you that as you remember, the man and the woman, Adam and Eve, through their own self-leadership, brought brokenness and sin into the world. And since then, all marriages and all people have experienced brokenness. You, me, Steph, everyone gathered here. And every marriage has experienced brokenness and division. When the man and the woman sinned against God, they hid from one another. They experienced shame. Doug, I want to encourage you. See, no one here has been outside of that brokenness. All of us have been hurt and have hurt, have been abused and abused. But right now, I want you to look at your new wife, Stephanie. She's wearing white. Stephanie professes faith in Jesus. I want to encourage you, Doug, to see her as God sees her in Christ. That she is forgiven, that she is loved, that she is reconciled to God, that she is a new creation. And anything that has been done by her or to her in the past, that is all buried with Christ and is gone. Doug, you're going to be tempted because of the brokenness of this world to try to fix yourself, to try to fix your marriage, to try to fix Steph. And the temptation is going to be whether it's through money or achievement or control or success, or even through escape and hiding, or getting too involved in something that you shouldn't, right? The temptation's there. I want you, brother, to preach the gospel to yourself. That she is a new person in Christ. I want you to forgive her continually, to love her continually, to always see her as Christ sees her, because she's given her life to Jesus. She is always in white for the rest of your life. Steph, I want to encourage you by reminding you of that verse. You're good. You're good. This is fun. I'm going to remind you of that first marriage in Genesis 2. You know, the woman's name was Eve. Eve means life. You get to bring life to this new family. Not just physically, but emotionally. And, I mean, you really are just the life giver of what God is bringing together here. I want you to remember that you get to know Doug like no one else can. You know all of the things that you love about him, that get you excited about him, that is impressive about him. But you also get to know the things that maybe he wishes that he could just take to his grave without anyone knowing. You have the privilege of knowing, right, everything. I want you to encourage you to look to Doug with his profession of faith that he trusts in Jesus, that he too is a new person. I want to encourage you to keep preaching the gospel to yourself, that you are created in God's image as a woman, that God has brought you to him, and that you can see him always as being a new person. Jesus is the best leader of Doug's life, not you. So pray for him, encourage him, and see him as God sees him in Jesus. Genesis 2 says that man shall leave father and mother and hold fast to his wife. You two are leaving families to create a new one. This means after this, you're not going to be able to go back to them. It's that you are plowing ahead for a bright future for the two of you. I want to encourage you. The reason why we do a covenant, we do oaths, is because you will be tempted again and again because of the brokenness of this world to give up. When you get hurt, when something from your past comes up, I want you to take the time needed to get right with Jesus, come together again, recognize it together, and bury it, because it's buried with Christ. May God let what God has joined together, let no one separate. Doug and Stephanie, my prayer is that God will bless you and your new family together. Are you ready for your vows? Yeah. All right. Doug, you may now face your bride. Doug, will you take Stephanie to be your wedded wife, to live together in marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, for better or for worse, and forsaking all others, be faithful only to her, for as long as you both shall live? I do. Stephanie, will you take Doug to be your wedded husband, to live together in marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, for better or for worse, and forsaking all others, being faithful only to him, for as long as you both shall live? We'll now exchange the rings, which I have here for safekeeping. I kept them too safe. Go for it.
There it goes.
By the power vested in me, by the state of Ohio, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Mr. and Mrs. Doug and Stephanie Wolfe. Friends, we just witnessed the union of these two in marriage. So the reception is going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn. So the newlyweds look forward to party, to eat, to drink, to dance with you, and to celebrate with them the new family and their new life together. So I'm going to dismiss you all by rows, and if you would please just each row at a time, as I dismiss you, just go ahead and walk to the back and then make your way. We look forward to seeing you at the reception.
Okay.